we're back again. So I just finished up Hypno and Drowsy, and these guys are super fucking cool, man. I'm really excited to get into it. Um, I guess I'm kind of getting into the fact that I start these off by talking about like the most obvious, like the things that are gonna jump out at people who are just scrolling through and being like, "Whoa, why did they do that? Why did they do that?" Like the big major things. So I guess I'll address like type changes first because those tend to be kind of controversial among a lot of people. Pure Psychic is very underwhelming. There are a lot of other Pure Psychic types that I will actually do you a favor. Psychic type, Pokemon. I will literally show you all of them that are staying Pure Psychic. Because I am staying Pure Psychic. Mewtwo is unusable, but it will be staying. Mew is usable, will be Pure Psychic, or maybe Fury, I'm not sure. That's beyond Pure Psychic. Wobbuffet, Pure Psychic, probably, but he doesn't really count. But Bob Fett's gonna be fucking great. Oh, that's gonna be a hell of a. That's gonna be like an hour-long damn video talking about all the cool shit I did with them. But um, that aside, Grumpig. So I'll get into Grumpig in a second. Grumpig is actually important to this discussion. But Chimecho is normal because of sound. Deoxys is Deoxys. Fairies, fairy. Actually, I'm just not even gonna get into these guys. But what I will say is they're not pure fairy, pure. Goddamn, man, pure psychic. As for these guys, they stay pure psychic. You guys stay pure psychic. You guys stay pure psychic. And these guys technically, I guess, probably will. But yeah, as you can see, that's quite a bit. And I feel like Hypno would overlap way too much with like Grumpig. Grumpig is the biggest one in terms of stats, and like when I would overlap way too much. Um, and it would just be kind of mid as pure psychic. So the really fun thing, and also, I mean, Hypno seems like a dark type. Like just the whole, I mean, not even looking into the Pokedex, just the way people perceive it is, I mean, come on, man, you guys know the whole stupid ass creepypasta shit about Hypno. Like he's clearly a darker esque Pokemon, and the lore itself like is pretty dark. It's talking about like, oh, it's kidnapping children and being super dangerous and da da da. Da. It's just it does dark type things, man. Hypnosis in general seems kind of like a darker thing. So that's why Hypno Psychic Dark, for balancing reasons as well as just it makes sense. I will show, I believe that they only have one weakness now. Yes, so they have a 4 times weakness to bug, an immunity to psychic, and because of their ability Sinister, an optional ability to fairy outside of Pixelate Pokemon. Other than Pixelate, they are completely immune to fairy, so they're immune to fairy and psychic, and they have a 4 times weakness to bug, and they're neutral to everything else. So the typing is very odd. I would argue it's kind of bad defensively, but having one immunity is good. Having two immunities is very good, especially to common psychic and fairy combination. That's a really good immunity to have with Sinister, so it kind of saves Hypno. Also because it's not a super defensive Pokemon, it's just a more of a. It can be defensive, but it's not defensive in nature. Um, Otherwise, the lack of resist would really hurt it because it literally has no resistances. And the 4 times weakness to bug is totally fair and fine. Um, Something that balances it out. You know, two immunities, one 4 times weakness, and nothing else. Everything else is a clean slate. As for plain Drowsy, stays psychic because I mean, yeah, Drowsy's also kind of a little shithead and he does like little shithead things, but doesn't seem as dark. Kind of just a goofball. Um, and then they have two completely different abilities in Thick Fat and Gluttony. I think the next thing I'll get, I just have so much I want to talk about, so it's like I don't know when I can get into the cool shit. Not that this dark typing isn't cool, but for what I will say is, yeah, Sinister makes it immune, so that's really great. Super useful immunity. The very good thing about that is you can literally just use your ability capsule, which is infinite use now, and you can just toggle it on and off whenever the fuck you want in it. There's no like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can just, oh, they have fairy type move, oops, Sinister. Oh, they don't have a fairy type move. Okay, bad dreams. Simple as that. And the beautiful thing about bad dreams is, I guess I'll get into. Hypno is like one of the sleep Pokemon. Like it's known for sleep. And it has a signature move, a completely signature move, which I'll get into in a second. But first, I just want to quickly cover the stats. So the stats might seem kind of mediocre at first glance, especially given the typing and all that stuff. But once you factor in the move pool and the abilities and the way they work in conjunction with each other, it's amazing, man. Hypno is super fucking great. Um, but the stats on our own are not great. A little bit less HP because HP is more based on size now, like I always say. A little bit more attack just because he looks like he can throw a decent punch. A little more defense, just overall rounding out the stats. The most important buffs, however, are to special attack and speed. 80 base speed is just a good speed tier with or without Choice Scarf. You can boost your speed with a lot of different ways. Tons of Z moves boost speed, which I'll get into in a little bit because those are really important for Hypno. They're so important for Hypno. Otherwise, you got like agility to boost speed if you want to do that as well. It's pretty cool. And then you have a good 115 special defense. So you have 75, 75, 115. Special defense that is just it's just a good stat, man. It's a nice bulk. I didn't want to change it too much. I wanted to give Hypno more special attack, but number one, I want it to be kind of a mixed attacker because I think it's cool, and it actually used to be a mixed attacker, so I wanted to keep that, especially because the other Psychic Darks aren't as well. Actually, they are mixed because the other Psychic Darks are going to be Hoop Unbound, and I believe Malamar, and maybe one more, but and Hypno will not overlap with them whatsoever. They all play very different roles. They all do very different things. They all have their own little gimmicks. Well, I mean, Hoop Unbound is just a monster, but he will be a monster. But Malamar is a good comparison. They both do very different things. They have their own kind of, I wouldn't call it a gimmick because gimmick kind of implies that it's bad or niche. It's not niche at all. It is just amazing. But yeah, that's their stats. 180, 100 offenses, nothing to write home about. They're good. It will probably be abusing boosting moves a lot, which I'll get into in just a second. Stay tuned, guys, because when I get to the actual good shit, I probably should have started off with it because people aren't going to listen this far, and maybe. But trust me when I say like it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stop wasting time. Drowsy's better, man. Better stats, bulkier, stronger. You guys get the idea. Thick, fat, gluttony, ability capsules are useful if you have an ice or fire type in front of you using ice or fire type moves, whatever the fuck. Just use the ability capsule. Both abilities are relatively situational. Both abilities are solid. It evolves at level 23 now, not 26, because Hypno stats are not that great on their own. However, the real allure here is the move pool. So first off, tons of goddamn coverage. I'm not even going to bother getting into it all because you can see how much coverage they have on both physical and special ends. But important stuff like fire and fighting and ground, all this important coverage. And then you have like great stab moves, which I can get into in a second. But the most important thing about Hypno is the sleep moves that I gave it and the Z moves that come with it. So basically, once you evolve, 2 levels after you evolve, technically, you'll be getting Hypnosis on Wake Up Slap. Hypnosis is 80% accurate now, so that's just nice and reliable. And the thing about sleep that I changed is all sleep moves besides signature sleep moves will sleep them for 2 turns, and that sounds really good. If you're faster than them, though, it wastes a turn because when you sleep something that's faster than, sorry, that you're slower. Jesus, I am mixing up my words. If you put something to sleep and you're faster than it, meaning you sleep them before they get to move, it will say that Pokemon is fast asleep, and that counts as a sleep turn. It's stupid, I know, but that's what it is. And I think it actually works out because slower sleep users have to take a hit or bypass taunt or whatever the hell to get the sleep off, and therefore they get rewarded with 2 additional turns. Meanwhile, the fast Pokemon can instantly outspeed, instantly put them to sleep, assuming they land the move. And there you go, and then you get 1 turn. And when I say 1 turn, it's much better to have the guaranteed single turn than it is to have 0 to 5 turns or whatever, 1 to 5 turns, meaning the first turn could count and they could wake up the second turn. It's called first turn wake up. That was the thing that pissed off a lot of people. And yeah, sure, I could have made it so first turn wake up is impossible. And then it's a range of 3 to 5. I want it. Sleep is a super volatile status condition. It's shitty in my opinion. So the way I fixed it is it's consistent and it's not broken anymore. You get 1 turn if you're faster. You get 2 turns if you're slower. Point blank simple. That's how it works for most sleep moves. Hypno has another one later on that's signature that I'll get into that lasts longer, but even just Hypnosis. So most Pokemon I gave sleep moves to in like the 40s, maybe their late 30s, and then a lot of them get it even later. Like they get sleep moves relatively late on. Hypno is literally the sleep Pokemon. One of its abilities relies on sleep to like work properly, and so giving him specifically sleep moves early, I think, is a cool little thing. Cool, gives him a cool little. He needs it, man. Otherwise, it would be kind of underwhelming. Not really, actually, but it will probably be using sleep most of the time. So the great thing of Hypnosis is 80% accurate now. You get 1 turn if you're faster, 2 turns if you're slower. And if you get the 1 turn, that's still like 1 turn guaranteed is still more than enough to use so many setup moves, man. So many setup moves, but I will skip that and talk about Wake Up Slap next. So I changed Wake Up Slap as well. I changed all these moves. All these moves are so much different. I'm sure if you're keeping up with the sheets, you can see it all, but I'm only going to control F like the super major changes. So yeah, Wake Up Slap here. Its priority, it's essentially like a mini fake out. Not even a mini fake out, but it's essentially like fake out, but you can use it on any turn, but it only has 1 PP. So you can literally only use it once per battle, but it's a, you got to time it correctly. So you can use Hypnosis, set up. So like, for example, outspeed them, use Hypnosis, set up whatever you want to do, bulk up or swords dance, and then wake up slap. They get flinched. You do 140 base power, you hit first, ideally, and then boom, they flinch, and you basically get an extra free turn out of that, which is really cool. That's the turn they would wake up normally, so they would wake up and then flinch. That's how wake up slap. You can time it right, and it works really well because you know exactly when the sleep will run out, which is the beauty of this strategy. So wake up slap's a good option, good attack, good coverage. It has drain punch and all the other fighting coverage too. Brick break. You might think close combat's kind of weird. I thought it was weird at first too, but Hypno learned. Well, it already got brick break and drain punch, which is like fine. Where are the moves? There was a bunch of weird, like, yeah, like submission, dynamic punch, like old weird obscure move tutters from previous games. So I figured, hey man, he's got some fist. He can participate in the fisticuffs. My man can fight. Um, I'm spending way too much time on the not that important shit or the stuff that's really self-evident, but isn't self-evident that other people might just not notice, at least when looking at the sheets, because in game it tells you the Z effect of the moves in the description for the 99% of moves, status moves. So the beauty of Hypno is 25, you get Hypnosis, great setup move. You get great utility move. You can Hypnosis into Parting Shot, debuff it out, and then swap into a different Pokemon. Get it's really good as like a it's good, man. It's a very good move. With a wide lens, Hypnosis becomes, I believe, 92 accurate, which is really good, man, because I buffed a wide lens. So 92% accurate for Hypnosis, man, for 2 turns, guaranteed sleep, or I guess technically 1 turn if you're faster. So that's super great. The important, oh, and I believe also the Hypnosis gives a speed boost, which you can use to sweep stuff later. But you're not going to be using Hypnosis later because by the time you get the other setup moves like Bulk Up, Nasty Plot, all that shit, you're going to have Mesmerize, and Mesmerize is 100% accurate. So Hypno essentially upgrades his sleep move as the game progresses. So you start off with Hypnosis, then you start off with Yawn technically for a couple levels, and then I assume you would probably want Hypnosis, but you could also totally use Yawn. Technically, it's more consistent, although Yawn is one move I could not change the sleep turns for, so I cannot control how long something sleeps for when it's yawned, when it's drowsy. Pun not intended. So it kind of sucks. I wouldn't use it unless you want to get angry at the fact that they woke up on the first turn. Not my cup of tea, but if that's the game you like to play it. And yes, of course, I know luck is a part of Pokemon, but sometimes I'm trying to minimize it or add counterplay for it. But with sleep, there is literally none. It's just flipping coins. It used to be, at least. Now it's not. So speaking of, yes, I'm going to focus up because Mesmerize is fucking great on Hypno. And then you have Dream Eater, which gives you 100%. It's 120 base power, and it gives you all of the health recovered, which is great. So you can like Mesmerize into Nasty Plot into Dream Eater or Calm Mind into Dream Eater, whatever the hell you want. There's so many different combinations of moves you can use with Hypno. That's the beauty of it. One of the downsides of Hypno is he has 4 move slot syndrome really bad because a lot of his great moves are not relearner. His setup ones, for the most part, are, which is good. And their coverage moves and reliable stab are all TM, which is good. Especially like physical priority, which I'll get into in a second when I talk about the setup options. So you have bulk up, Drain Punch for healing. You have good physical stab. You have dual +2 priority physical stab with Sucker Punch and Think Fast, so 75 and 55 base power respectively. And that pairs really well with bulk up or Swords Dance or Belly Drum. So later on, you can use Mesmerize, get off a Belly Drum guaranteed the next turn, 100%, no matter what you do. Unless you can't even miss it. So as long as you live that first turn and you have enough HP, you could even like Z Belly Drum if you wanted to. Like for example, I'm in front of a Pokemon, they hit me for 90% of my HP, they hit me really fucking hard with some move. Now I land my Mesmerize, and then the next turn I Z Belly Drum, heal all the way up, and then I use Belly Drum 50% HP. Then I can Sucker Punch and Think Fast their entire team to death, ideally in an ideal situation with your dual stabs. With priority. Your speed set doesn't even matter at that point because you have priority. You also have Influx, which is the psychic priority, and a special psychic priority, and Night Burst, which is 45 and 50 power respectively. So they're weaker, but it uses Hypno's better special attack stat, and they have less priority. So that's another reason I wanted to incentivize physical Hypno, because despite having 20 less attack, physical sets are, I wouldn't say better, but they're definitely just as good in a lot of cases. So yeah, Belly Drum's fucking great with that, with sleep moves. You also have like Meditate, which is a cool little midway between Meditate and between Calm Mind and Bulk Up. Gives attack and special defense. Got Bury and Amnesia just for whatever you want. Another great thing, man, there's so much I want to talk about with Hypno. I really am off topic, but not off topic. I'm just not really focusing on the important part. Also, it's kind of cool. I can see a little timer of how long I am based on the last time I edited the doc, which is cool. Um, so yeah, you have all these strong stab moves. I don't have to cover them. You guys know what they do. All right, you got the cycle boost variants, you got the inaccurate strong moves. You guys know what those do at this point. However, the great thing that Hypno has later on at level 65 is signature move, Pendulum Wave. It's based off Psy Wave, so you're not really using it for the damage. I mean, yeah, you could get lucky and actually do a shitload of damage, but most of the time you're going to be doing shit damage, or it's inconsistent. Don't. I wouldn't count on getting damage. However, it's good for breaking focus sashes, which is actually pretty common, or sturdy, or multi-scale, etc., etc. Very nice for that actually. So you get a little bit of damage, but the important thing is it's +4 priority, and it sleeps them for 2 turns guaranteed after the first turn, meaning technically it's a 3 turn sleep, but because it's priority, you're never gonna move after the opponent on the first turn anyways. You know what I mean? So I know it's kind of confusing. It's not my fault. It's the way they programmed sleep. Also, I have to rush again. Why does this always happen when I'm recording, man? It's fine. I will try to wrap it up. But yeah, super fucking strong sleep move. +4 priority. You get 2 full turns after. 1 turn is already plenty if it's guaranteed. That is more than enough with the more accurate, consistent sleep moves. You can set up in 1 turn. That's all you need because most setup moves already have low PP anyways. You're not going to be spamming them for 6 turns and sweep the entire game. Hypno can do that though because he has 2 free turns. There is so much you can do in 2 free turns. It's not even funny. You can pivot out with Pardon Shot and then just switch into something else and set up if you want to go that route. Or Hypno himself is great. Also, something I haven't even talked about yet is Bad Dreams. Yeah, Bad Dreams is kind of weird logically because technically it doesn't say that it causes nightmares, but come on, man, it's cool, man. It works well enough. I think it fits Hypno's gimmick and vibe overall pretty well. So the beautiful thing with Bad Dreams is you get 1/8 or 12% HP per turn damage, just guaranteed free. So for Hypnosis, for example, you're faster, you sleep them, you get free damage. So overall, when you use Hypnosis or Mesmerize, you're getting 25% guaranteed damage with Bad Dreams passively, no matter what, which is nothing amazing, but it's good. It's good, especially for like totems and shit, um, or bulkier Pokemon. And you can always put them back to sleep and get more damage, while you like do whatever you want to do, set up, etc. Because those moves, the inaccurate sleep moves, have multiple. They can be used, I believe, like 2 to 3 times, and then like the 100% accurate ones are either once or twice. I forget. I'm too lazy to check right now because I'm kind of in a rush. But you can check on the doc for yourself or the sheet for yourself. The beautiful thing is, though, is that you have Z Nightmare on top of Pendulum Wave. So not only do you have 2 free turns, but then the next turn you can use Nightmare. So you're getting 37% chip guaranteed just passively with Bad Dreams plus Pendulum Wave. And you're going to be using Bad Dreams if you aren't fighting fairy type moves, because you can just ability capsule on and off. So you're using Bad Dreams in those cases. And with Pendulum Wave, you get the free passive damage, you get the guaranteed sleep, you get 2 free turns. That means you can get a Swords Dance boost. That means you can set up 2 bulk ups. That means you can set up 2 Calm Minds. It means you can set up 1 Nasty Plot. You can do all this shit in that turn, in those 2 turns. So much stuff. It's beautiful. You can even just get like free Reflect Light Screen if you wanted to do that, with like Clay. You can. The possibilities are absolutely endless. It's a great utility Pokemon, and it can set up with that utility. Parting Shot out, you get 1 free turn. Reflect Light Screen, like Clay, you get, those are your 2 turns for 8 turns of screens. Then you can actually sleep them. So Pendulum Wave only has 1 PP because I'm not crazy. Giving that move multiple PP would be absolutely broken. 1 PP, 1 use, you got to make it count for the battle, which rewards skill, rewards planning out when you're going to use it. And the beautiful thing is Z Nightmare gives an Omni boost. So essentially what you can do is Z Nightmare after Pendulum Wave, then you add on an additional 25% damage on top of Bad Dreams. So Bad Dreams deals 12.5, and then Nightmare deals 25. Also, Night Days and Dark Pulse inflict Nightmare now. That's just what they do now, like on top of their damage. So for example, you can early game use Hypnosis plus Dark Pulse, although actually that would not work because unless you're slower. If you're slower, you sleep them and then you use Dark Pulse the next turn, then yes, you'll get an extra 25% damage, which is a lot. That's a lot of damage for free. So that's a really cool combination at Night Days you get, which is just a stronger, slightly inaccurate version of Dark Pulse now. Really cool, man. But the best part, like I said, is Z Nightmare gives you +1 Omni boost. It makes his mediocre physical bulk super strong. It makes his special bulk really strong. Gives 80, 100 offensive is +1 guaranteed is just super strong now, and you have 80 speed at +1 is really fast as well. So you just really round out all your great stats, and it makes its average kind of well-rounded stats much better. And yeah, you can Z Nightmare, and then you have another free turn after that. So you could even you could, if you were absolutely crazy, you could do Pendulum Wave, guaranteed sleep, Z Nightmare, +1 all stats, Nasty Plot after, +3 special attack, +1 to every other stat. Now your sleep turns are over. Now you use stored power, which would, I believe, become, let's count the boosts. Calm Mind. Sorry, Nasty Plot gives 2. Omni Boost is attack, defense, special defense, speed. That's 5. 7 boosts. 7 times 20 is 140, plus the extra 20 that it starts off with. That's 160 base power. And then you get another +1 special attack because stored power and power trip, what I changed with them is they have 3 PP, so you can only use them 3 times. So you can't 6-0 an entire team. That would be absolutely free. You could literally win like 80% of late game fights by just Pendulum Wave, Nightmare, Power Trip / stored power spam and just win the goddamn game. So I took measures to make sure you can't completely 6-0, but you can kill 3 Pokemon. You can and then you still have other moves. You know, you have more PP to abuse for other moves. So yeah, I know no leopard berries either, so you can't do that. But yeah, stored power, +1 special attack after you use it, so that adds on 20 base power to stored power, and it gives you +1 special attack on top of that. So it makes it snowballs completely out of control. It has dual stab, physical and special, super fucking fun. In fact, I might actually make power trip 68, stored power 70, just to really encourage, like, or 67 actually, to really encourage the physical Hypno. But yeah, I'll change that real quick, but it's not a big deal. I hope that's about it. Other cool little gimmicks. I have to really rush, guys. I'm sorry. Other cool little gimmicks they have good coverage. Like I said, I don't need to cover it all. You can see it all here. Cool little gimmicks. You got Psych Up or Punishment for totems with stat boosts. You've got obviously you have Reliable Recovery with Slack Off. You've got Disable Encore Torment early game for really good utility. A really cool combo that you might not immediately see is it's kind of stupid, but it's pretty funny. Is Topsy Turvy, which reverses stat changes after you use Flatter or Swagger. So you confuse them, give them +2 special attack or attack respectively, and then you reverse it. So it's kind of like a cool little, it's kind of niche, but it's good. However, Topsy Turvy's main use would be for totems. You know, oh shit, there's a totem Mimikyu with +1 everything. You just Topsy Turvy, boom, now it's -1 everything. Super useful move. And it fits Hypno very well. You got Switches Out Doom Desire, works really well with the sleep moves. You could even use it with like Yawn or whatever, I don't know. You got so many different cool little combos here. Like I said, Belly Drum is great. I believe that's about it. I don't want to spend too much longer, but you can see they have great coverage. I mean, come on. Super fucking dope, mon. Late game, that Pendulum Wave is goddamn deadly. And even before that, you have Mesmerize at 41, 100% that's 100% accurate sleep move at 41. I mean, come on. Hypno's great. Super great utility, super great. Just cool, fun mon. There is a bit of a skill gap to using it, but that skill gap is high. You can really make Hypno work, put in some damn work. It's not like brainless Unga Bunga like some other Pokemon in the heck, but trust me, Hypno's great. Super excited for it. I'm really happy with how they turned out. Oh, and you can also do other cool shit like Z Pendulum Wave, get +2 speed instantly, and not use Z Nightmare. And then you can just like Calm Mind twice, so you get +2 speed, +2 special attack, +2 special defense. And then you can use stored power and sweep, so you only use 2 move slots that way. You don't waste another move slot on Nightmare. And I use the term waste very lightly because, again, with Pendulum Wave into Z Nightmare, you're getting 12% HP on the first turn. You're getting 37% on the second turn, which is 50% total. You deal half of their HP without even doing anything, just from using Pendulum Wave with Bad Dreams into Nightmare on the second turn. And then you still have a free turn after, and that's another 37%. Sorry. Yeah, no, 37%, 25 plus 12. You have taken them to 12% HP just from using Pendulum Wave and Z Nightmare, without even touching them. So you guys can, and that means you don't even have to waste the power trip PP or the stored power PP. So you guys see, Hypno's absolutely amazing. I hope this is going to be a really long one, but I'm not even upset because Hypno's fucking sick, and I'm really happy that they turned out super good and super interesting and fun to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Sorry for the rambly, rushed nature. Get used to it, but it is what it is. See you guys.